Hello and welcome to Top Stories on Viewer Television. I am Franco Boniface. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Mr. Festus Keyamo, a few weeks ago opened a fresh page of controversy when he announced the suspension of the Nigerian Air project. He said the suspension was necessary to investigate the Nigerian Air concession debacle adequately. The Ninth House of Representatives Committee on Aviation had made a similar move calling for the suspension of the project. Recall that barely 3 days before the end of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, then the Minister of Aviation hurriedly launched the Nigerian Air 5 years after unveiling it at Farnborough Air Show in the United Kingdom. Barely 1 week after leading a 2-day nationwide warning strike, the organized labor on Tuesday threatened to begin an indefinite strike should the federal government fail to meet its demand at the end of the 21-day ultimatum, which will expire in approximately 1 week's time. The workers' union said the proposed strike was necessary following the failure of the federal government to provide palliatives to assuage the Nigerians' hardship as a result of the fuel subsidy removal. The Nigerian Labour Congress said the industrial action, which may commence any day from next week, would lead to an indefinite shutdown of commercial and economic activities across the country. And then no fewer than 23 pastors have been killed, while 200 churches have been shut down in Kaduna by bandits within the past 4 years. The chairman of the Kaduna State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend John Hayab, disclosed this on Tuesday at an emergency meeting with the State Commissioner of Police. Musa Garba and pastors drawn from all over the state held at the Albarka Baptist Church in the state capital. The meeting newsmen learned that was meant to discuss on how to collaborate with the church to tackle the spate of insecurity in the state. In his response, the Commissioner of Police condemned the attack of the St. Richard Parish Fadan Matan, urging the Christian clerics to watch and pray for sustainability of lasting peace in the state. Then, those involved in illegal land transactions in Abuja would henceforth have it rough, the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike warned. Wike vowed to do everything within the ambit of the law to stop sharp practices which he described as unacceptable. The minister gave the warning at the inauguration of FCTA mandate secretaries. The secretaries are at par with commissioners in the states. Wike implicated the legal department of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to conveyance in the award of $800 million, garnishing order which was recently set aside by the Court of the Appeal, expressing displeasure over the land transactions in the FCT. He said so many things, land racketeers conniving with those going to court against the interest of FCTA, but we shall not accept that. The minister said the development would adversely affect the economy of the FCTA and its ability to meet its obligation. And then the protracted feud between Ondo State Governor Rotimi and his estranged deputy Lucky is taking its toll on the State Executive Council. There was apprehension among the commissioners, special advisors, and those aides as the governor fired the deputy governor's aide. The governor, who last week returned to the country after a 3-month medical leave in Germany, may reshuffle the State Executive Council to weed out members who were suspected to be disloyal during his absence. Many aides are jittering over the impending reshuffle, which may take place immediately after the governor's return to Akure next week. It was learned that Akeredolu was sad that some of his aides caused serious tension in the state while he was away by sponsoring some reports that embarrassed the government and the ruling All Progressives Congress chapter. The House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee on International Boundary Dispute has directed that the demarcating exercise to cede Sina area in Michiko local government area of Adamawa State to the Republic of Cameroon be halted immediately. Chairman of the Ad hoc Committee, Honorable Benila, gave the ruling during a hearing on the series of lingering boundary hotspots across the Nigerian-Cameroon boundaries, which stretches from up the Lake Chad region down to Cross Rivers estuaries. The hearing was also to assess the role of the military and paramilitary and security agencies to safeguard the borders and territorial integrity of the country. In attendance at the hearing was the Director General of the National Boundary Commission, Adamu Adaji, a representative from Sinai area, Adamu Kamala, the Solicitor General of the Federation, Beatrice Jedi, who represented the Attorney General, as well as representatives of the security agencies. And then no fewer than 936 people have died in several boat mishaps in the last 3.5 years as the nation continues to lose its citizens over unregulated waterways. This is even as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed immediate probe of recent boat mishaps that have become a recurring decimal in Nigeria. However, beyond the directive by the president, experts urge both the federal and state governments to go beyond rhetoric of ordering for probes and condolences and take concrete measures to address the menace. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Wednesday departed Nigeria to represent President Bola Tinubu at the G77 plus China Leaders Summit in Havana, Cuba, held from September 15 to 17. In a statement, the Director of Information Office of the Vice President, Mr. Olushola, said Shettima would join other world leaders, including the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, at the summit. He said the summit will deliberate on development issues facing members, mostly from the Global South. Abiola said that the Havana summit would be hosted by the President of the Republic of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, in his capacity as chairman of the G77. Recall that Nigeria was a founding member of the G77 group established in 1964 by 77 developing countries. And that's all on Top Stories. Many thanks for watching. I am Franco Boniface. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our show.